Have you ever felt like you're trying to please everyone but end up pleasing no one? Well, today's story is exactly about that. Let's dive into the tale of a miller, his son, and their donkey. Once upon a time, a miller and his young son were leading their donkey to the market, hoping to sell it. They were walking along peacefully when a group of people passed by. "Look at those fools!" one of them shouted, laughing. "They have a perfectly good donkey, but they're walking." Feeling a bit silly, the miller thought, he has a point. So he lifted his son onto the donkey's back, and they continued on their way. The boy was happy, and the miller felt he had done the right thing. A short while later, they encountered a group of women chatting by the roadside. "Shame on that lazy boy," one of them exclaimed, pointing. "Letting his poor old father walk while he enjoys a comfortable ride." The miller's face flushed with embarrassment. He couldn't let people think his son was disrespectful. So he helped his son down and climbed onto the donkey himself. Now he was riding and his son was walking beside him. This must be the correct way, he thought, trying to ignore the ache in his son's tired expression. But their journey was far from over. Soon they met a group of farmers. "Well, look at that selfish man," one of them grumbled. "A strong, healthy father riding in comfort while his little boy has to trudge through the dust. How cruel!" The miller was completely flustered now. He couldn't seem to do anything right. In a moment of desperation, he pulled his son up onto the donkey to sit behind him. Now both of them were riding. Surely this would satisfy everyone, right? Wrong. As they neared the town, a crowd of townspeople saw them. "You monsters!" a person yelled. "How could you put so much weight on that poor small donkey? You should be carrying it, not the other way around." Utterly confused and desperate to stop the criticism, the miller and his son got off the donkey. They found a long pole, tied the donkey's legs together, hoisted the pole onto their shoulders, and began carrying the struggling animal. The sight was so ridiculous that everyone they passed roared with laughter. The poor donkey, terrified and uncomfortable from being carried upside down, started kicking wildly. It kicked so hard that the ropes broke, and it tumbled off the pole. Scared and free, the donkey bolted into the nearby forest and disappeared. The miller and his son stood there, exhausted and empty-handed. They had lost their donkey and had nothing to show for their long, difficult journey. They had tried to please everyone they met, and in the end, they pleased no one and lost everything they had. The moral of this story is simple yet powerful. If you try to please everyone, you will end up pleasing no one, and you might just lose yourself or your donkey in the process. Trust your own judgment and do what you believe is right. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more tales that make you think. See you in the next video.